That's responsible for almost $5 trillion of payments a year, roughly $1 billion an hour. And when we came there, we're looking at this payment, and it's like the payments have no, you could put a payment through with no payment categorization code and no description on the payment, like basically untraceable blank checks. This is the kind of thing that if it was done as a public company, the company would be immediately delisted and the executive team would be thrown.
You expect it would be like this?
I thought it would be bad, but I did not think it would be as bad as this. I mean, look, the good news is that it's a target-rich environment for saving money. It's not like if it was a very well-run ship, if it was very efficient, it would be hard to improve. But it's not efficient, so therefore it is actually relatively easy to improve. You can see line by line what Doge has done at doge.gov. So whatever we do, we put on doge.gov so you can see everything that is being done.
And there's a tracker that shows
Yeah.
How much money has been saved.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you can look at each line item, and like a bunch of these sort of far left shows will say like, oh, it's a constitutional crisis, blah blah blah. But what they won't do is point out which payments are wrong.
Right.
So my challenge to them is point out which payments are wrong.
Yeah. Go through it.
Which of these sort of waste/fraud things are wrong? Which line? Explain that line to the public. They won't be able to.
Yeah, that's why you're not hearing any specifics. You're
That's
hearing
why no
anecdotal
specifics.
stories about mothers
But
starving.
we can name the specifics.
Yeah.
Line by line. So, but yeah, I think the public will be rightly frustrated if no one is prosecuted for the Epstein client list, no one at all. Which, no one, like at least I don't know the top 5 or something, like some number. There should at least be an attempted prosecution of the worst offenders.
Well, particularly if Ghislaine Maxwell is in jail for sex trafficking.
Yes.
Because trafficking.
Well, that means sex trafficking occurred.
Right. So she's in jail for it.
Yes.
So
who were the clients?
Yeah. Yeah. How do you put someone in jail and you don't even name the clients? That sounds kind of insane. Terrifying they could do it so brazenly to a guy who was the president for 4 years.
Right. That lawsuit was funded by Reid Hoffman, who is a major Dem donor and also an Epstein client. The plot thickens.
The plot thickens. Jesus Christ.
Yes.
It's so blatant. It's like so obvious. The SpaceX lawsuit, the Trump stuff, it's so obvious.
Yeah. This is not a bunch of business as usual types. So this is why some of the Senate confirmations were quite challenging, is because when you try to appoint people who are going to change the system, the system doesn't want to let them through.
But it's fascinating because it's like the vampires all out themselves. Like now everybody knows who the system is. Like if you're just lying openly about U.S. aid and then they come and hear you talk on a podcast and explain what's really going on. Like he's starving mothers. There's mothers that can't get food.
Totally false.
That's all you're hearing.
Yeah.
That's no one's talking in any of these mainstream liberal talk shows. No one is talking about all this fraud. Does that weigh on you? Like I would feel like that would be a heavy responsibility.
Yeah. I mean, I'm just trying to keep civilization going here, for longer. I think we at least want to build a city on Mars and become a multi-planet civilization, which I think would be incredibly important in ensuring the long-term survival of civilization. Let's leak it, for God's sake.
Put it out there.
Yeah.
Like, let it slip.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, there's a couple photos. They're grainy. There's not one thing that I've ever looked at and go, holy that's it.
Look,
that's what I've been looking for.
You could ask our Grok AI right now to create a high-res image of an alien spacecraft, over Austin.
Yeah.
And it's going to do a great job. Yeah. So why do we not have at least that?
Right. Yeah, but I want to believe. That's the problem. My brain starts going, oh, come on. This is no fun.
Once you get out of Earth orbit, Space is like kind of unnervingly empty. It's just like when we send spacecraft to Mars, it's not like, oh, we lost a spacecraft because it got hit by a micrometeorite. That's not been the cause of any trips to Mars. Like no trips to Mars have failed because of micrometeorites. Now a Dragon spacecraft, which operates in low Earth orbit, does have micrometeorite shields. It has shielding. At current birth rates, in 3 generations, Korea will be about 4% of its current size.
That's insane.
They're only at 1/3 replacement rates. Basically, population collapse happens fast. So, it seems to be accelerating in most parts.
When you have reliable people like Commander David Fravor, who had that infamous Tic Tac experience off the coast of San Diego, where they got this thing on video, they tracked it going 50,000 feet above sea level to 50 feet in like a second.
Okay.
Yeah. And then they also have video evidence of this thing accelerating at a great speed. Eyewitness accounts from 2 different jets.
Sure. I mean, does anyone have a high-res video or photo of this thing?
Well, there's a video of this thing where they're locked onto it and then it takes off. Did you see when me and Lex we watched the rocket get caught live while it was happening? That to me was one of the to see it actually. Yeah. I've seen videos of it happen, but to see it actually live was one of the coolest fucking things. You're like, wow, we are in the future.
Right. I mean, nobody else can do that.
Yeah, it's true. Nobody else can do that. That's fact.
Yeah.
It's pretty wild.
It's because I'm an alien. So it's time you knew.
I thought about it.
I'm an alien, and I keep telling people I'm an alien, but they don't believe me.
I believe you.
Okay, thank you.
I believe you.
That's
my suspicion all along was that you were an alien.
I'm just trying to get back to my home planet.
I say you're a friendly alien. Like, it's nothing wrong with aliens. I like people from everywhere.
Yeah.
Even other planets. What's next? Like,
imagine if it's not all there, like some of it's missing. Where'd it go?
What if a lot of it's missing? What if like half of it's missing?
I mean, how do we even know?
I don't know. They said the last time they let someone look at it was decades ago.
I mean, it seems like there's some very shady stuff that's been going on. I believe the last formal audit was in the 50s. So I'm like, okay.
Oh my God, just think about all the other things.
Maybe we should check it again. Yeah, why don't we just data dump the files?
Yes.
And like
think about all the other stuff that you pointed out, all the checks that just go out, the NGO payments, the Social Security people. Think about all that. Yeah. Now apply that to the gold.
I was reading on X that like Comey's daughter is like the lead prosecutor in the Southern District of New York. I just want to like emphasize the sheer madness of the government. It's I was reading on X that like Comey's daughter is like the lead prosecutor in the Southern District of New York. Did you read that?
Yes.
And like, so obviously there's a bit of an entanglement there.
A little bit.
Like, what if there's something that, you know, puts her dad in a bad light?
Yeah, exactly. She's a fucking shredder. Hit that delete button.
The shredder's working overtime, you know?
Did you see General Flynn? He was on a podcast and he spoke directly to James Comey.
Yeah.
He said, Jim, you're going to jail. And unless you give up someone deeper than you and you know who that is, you know who I'm talking about? Like, that is wild.
Yeah.
To think that the former director of the FBI might be really in that kind of deep shit, and then he really actually was doing some evil, corrupt shit while he was running the FBI.
So...
Was that what's taking so long with this Epstein files?
Yeah, what's up with that?
What is up with that? It was like,
yeah,
it's like Lucy and the football with Charlie Brown, when she always pulls that football away. Yeah. It's the same thing. It's like they keep telling us they're going to release it day one. Oh, day one.
We have a serious case of no one's being arrested-ophobia, you know.
Well, there's also right.
Like, what the fuck is going on?
What the fuck is going on? Also, there's this real fear that someone's destroying the evidence, and you keep hearing these stories, unsubstantiated stories, of FBI people.
Well, where is
shredding.
The evidence? I mean, the guy had like tons of videos and recordings. I mean, he had all sorts of things.
Right.
Like, there's a mountain of evidence.
Right.
So where is that mountain?
Yeah, where is that mountain? And what would be the reason why they would agree